Hi, I'm Sam from the Communities team at the National Football Museum. The museum's collection is packed with the history of the game of our lives. In this video, I'll be taking you through 11 museum objects all about the highs and lows of life in the English Football League. The first object featured is truly one of the highlights of our collection. This is the Football League First Division trophy. The big and typically ornate piece of Victorian silverware is nicknamed the Lady on account of the statuette that adorns the top, and was lifted by 22 different clubs between 1891 and 1992. Of course, the first ever Football League champions were Preston North End Invincibles team back in 1889, but in spite of back-to-back title victories, they never actually lifted this trophy as it was only commissioned the following year. One of the most well-known figures from this early era of the English Football League was the manager and renowned tactical innovator Herbert Chapman, who successfully brought First League titles to Huddersfield Town and Arsenal respectively. Our second object is from the 1930 FA Cup final, where Chapman's Arsenal beat his former side by 2-0. This is Huddersfield goalkeeper Hugh Turner's jersey from that day at Wembley that saw Arsenal capture their first FA Cup. Under Chapman, Arsenal went on to become the first London club to win the Football League, but lower down the pyramid we find two more clubs from the capital represented by our next objects. Both Leyton, Orient and Millwall mark the centenary of the outbreak of the First World War by releasing these one-off shirts in 2014. Millwall players wore shirts which featured the logos of the Royal British Legion and the Headley Court Military Rehabilitation Centre, whereas Leyton Orient's commemorative home shirt featured the names of Jonas, McFadden and Scott, three of the 41 players and staff of Clapton Orient that were killed serving their country during the First World War. The next object we'll take a look at is from just prior to the Second World War in 1939. It is what's known as a player's pass and belonged to Hull City's Jack Kernow in a season that was abandoned in September due to the outbreak of the conflict. Passes like this would have been issued to each player and contained regulations, fixtures, a list of player expectations. It notes that players must not enter dances beyond Tuesday of each week and that the riding of motorcycles is strictly prohibited. Two more important historic clubs are represented in our fifth object. This watercolour and gouache painting from 1953, which is named, very matter-of-factly, after what it depicts: Spectators returning home after Port Vale versus Accrington Stanley. Although born in Yorkshire, the artist Arthur Hackney's family uprooted when he was just 6 years old for his father to work in the North Staffordshire coal mines. His local team here being Port Vale FC, who remain the only team to have sustained their Football League status for 109 seasons without ever actually making the top flight. Accrington Stanley, who they face off against here, are often referred to as the club that wouldn't die, a reference to their reformation in 1968. Next, we look to Brunton Park for what was ranked 7th in a recent list of the most important goals in the history of football. These boots belong to Carlisle United cult hero Jimmy Glass. The Cumbrians faced Plymouth Argyle on the final day of the 1998-99 season, needing a win to avoid being relegated out of the Football League. Deep into stoppage time with the score 1-1, goalkeeper Jimmy Glass came up for the corner and netted an unlikely winner to save them from the drop. Jimmy was at the National Football Museum in 2014 to donate his boots, which now take pride of place in our Play Gallery. Our seventh object also features in the museum's Play Gallery, the referee's kit from Coventry City's home game against Nottingham Forest in 2010. It represents a piece of footballing history and an important milestone as Amy Fearn became the first female referee in an English Football League match. According to FA reports in 2020, the number of female referees in English football has increased 72% in just 4 years. In the collection, we also have a number of scarves to represent Football League stories and fans' personal connections with the game. Our eighth object is this unique Preston North End scarf, made by a supporter for their trip to the 1964 FA Cup final. The fan has hand-stitched the names of all North End's players, and if you pay particular attention to the name Alex Ashworth, you can see beside it a small plastic figurine has been attached. Just 15 miles away from Preston, an unwavering 4-year boycott from fans of Blackpool Football Club ended with an emotional return to Bloomfield Road in March 2019. After experiencing life in the Premier League less than 10 years previous, the club plummeted into League Two. Our ninth object, this Blackpool scarf, represents the fan protest against their unpopular owners at the time. Another scarf from our collection is from Swindon Town in 2007. This season was a low point for the Robins, as it also marked their descent from the top flight to the lowest tier of league football. The penultimate object draws our attention to Bury FC, who in August 2019 became the first club to be expelled from the Football League since Maidstone United in 1992. Established in 1885, Bury enjoyed great success in their early years and went on to win the FA Cup twice. This leather match ball was used in the second of these games, their 6-0 demolition of Derby County in 1903. a record equalled only once since by Pep Guardiola's Manchester City in 2019. Bury's record-breaking time in the Football League didn't end there, and in May 2005 the Shakers became the first, and today only, team to net 1,000 goals in each of the top 4 tiers of the English Football League. Our final object references a club that have recently returned to the Football League. This is a shirt of Barrow AFC. After 48 seasons bouncing between the top 2 tiers of non-league football, Barrow are back. In September 2020, the National Football Museum gratefully accepted several important objects which tell the story of the Bluebirds' remarkable rise. Keep your eyes peeled in our galleries for shirts from key players like Scott Quigley and Josh Granite, as well as signed programmes and tickets from crucial games. So that's our 11 objects related to the English Football League, but which objects would you include? Let us know in the comments. Find these and thousands of other objects in our online collection at nationalfootballmuseum.com. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more football history content.